talk to myself. I'm Cassidy Quinn. I'm currently sitting in my backyard and trying to figure out how I can balance my phone. My phone is currently hanging on my computer. There we go. Why am I live streaming with my phone and my computer? Because my phone is at less than 20% battery, and so I plugged it into my computer to sit out here, which is lovely. When you work from home and your boyfriend also works from home, that you live with in the same home, and he's on Zoom calls all day, it's hard to, do a live stream in the middle of the day. Normally, I do Mental Mondays after I'm done at work, and at nighttime, and Tucker is done working. Usually, as you guys probably know, usually when we're doing Mental Monday, he's out like picking up takeout for dinner or something. Anyway, we're doing today's Mental Monday at a totally different time. What? Oh my gosh. Maybe some of you guys live in different time zones and you're like, cool. Actually, when I'm awake, that would be awesome. So I'm very curious if earlier in the day is good for you. Usually right after I get off of work at like 9 o'clock at night is a great time for me. But today, whew, it's a Monday. It's a Monday when it's actually going decent, but also you've made some mistakes. So I logged in for work at noon and worked for 2 hours, or worked till like 1:45. Hi, we're back. Sorry. We're sitting outside. I think the Wi-Fi is not great, so I just turned the Wi-Fi off because we're outside. Anyway, so I logged on for work at noon. At 1:45, got a calendar reminder. Oh, you're supposed to be at work at 2 o'clock. So I messaged my boss and I was like, was I supposed to work at 2 o'clock today? He's like, oh yeah, you were filling in for somebody else that's on vacation. Cool, great. So at 2 o'clock, we decided I would just take a 2-hour break in the middle of the day, which honestly, kind of ideal because I got a bunch of stuff done. Like I went through all of my emails. I got the email portion of my day done with. Caught up with all of my emails. In that noon to 2 area, had a few phone calls to organize some future segments for the week, etc. I'm doing something fun with the Blazers, which I'm very excited about. Go Blazers! And then had a 2-hour break. So I just went on a run, and then now I'm sitting outside hanging out with you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in to this randomly timed Mental Monday. But if you missed me saying this at the beginning, let me know what time of day actually is best for you guys, or if it would be better if these were just like pre-recorded. Also, at some point I would like to like add more organization into these besides just myself having a topic I want to talk about and organizing the thoughts in my own brain. I would love to incorporate interviews with other people, maybe segmenting it kind of like a podcast where we had like me talking about my brain for a few minutes, then an interview with somebody for like 20 minutes, then we could like include your guys' comments or something. So if you have any ideas of what a like perfect Mental Monday would look like to you or sound like to you, let me know. As you see from the title of today's, oh, come on, why would I not turn off my sound on my phone? How rude of me. I'm all over the place today. How are you guys doing? Please let me know in the comments how your Monday is going so far. So you saw the topic of this video. The title is called, It's Okay to Say No to Plans. Now, if you guys are new here to Mental Monday, this is where we talk about our brains, our bodies, how we're feeling, how are any mental health things we have going on, our anxiety, our depression, or whatever is going on in our brains, how that's doing. And I talk about what I have learned that's helping me make my brain work better this week. So this past week, I was feeling a lot of stress and anxiety just about life in general. I had this long to-do list forming in my head that I didn't even realize was forming itself for me. Like I wasn't writing out a to-do list, which I love doing, but I hadn't started doing that last week for some reason. I just let these things keep piling up in my head, but I wasn't writing them down. So all of these things I needed to do, and they weren't just like little, like do the dishes, run this little errand, like big kind of long-term things that I couldn't just knock off in half a day or something, but also things that if I do forget or do keep procrastinating and delaying, it's gonna be a problem. So, wow, I'm sweating out here. But I did sit in the shade, kind of, mostly. I guess when I'm leaning forward, I'm not in the shade. There we go. Trying not to get sunburned. But I hadn't written any of these things down, so they could have just gone from my brain. And next thing you know, it's like Thursday afternoon, and I am crying and stressed out and just feeling very anxious and overwhelmed and like, oh my god, the world, there's too much, I can't do it all, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get it all done, what am I gonna do with my life, oh my gosh. And so I decided to just stop and just write down every single thing that I'm listing out loud. Like, I have to do this, and I have to do this, and I have to do this, and I have to do this. Just write them all down. And was it kind of stressful to see them all on this piece of paper? Yes. But also, now that they're there, I can start checking them off one by one. And have I sometimes gone back to that list and said, oh, I'm gonna add one more that I'm doing right now just so I can cross it off? Yes! We play mental games with ourselves. I don't know if you guys saw the video I posted yesterday, my 5 tips, 5 things you can do to create some joy and happiness for yourself on any given day. But in that, I used a clip that I also posted on Twitter and Facebook over the weekend, and my Instagram stories, I think, so follow me in all the places so you don't miss it, or follow at least one, of I tricked my brain into cleaning the house, cleaning the living room at least, excuse me, by telling myself it was for a video. I did end up using it for a video, but it was a great motivation. So these weird little brain tricks, games I play, add something extra to the to-do list, like drink coffee so I can check it off. Boom, I did that. Wow, look at me. So if you guys have any little brain tricks that you play on yourself, please write them in the comments. I would love to hear them. But, so I get this to-do list going, and then I'm like, when am I gonna do all of these things? On Saturday, I was supposed to go hiking with one of my good friends that I hadn't seen in a very long time, and then on Sunday, a few of us, including that same friend, were supposed to go to a lavender farm and hang out outside, socially distant, of course. And then there was a meditation for Black liberation event in Portland that I wanted to go to last night. And there were just like a lot of things that I was supposed to do this weekend that I had like made plans with friends. And by the time Friday rolled around, I realized, okay, I know I need a day to not have any obligations where I can do some of these things on this to-do list, or I can just sit and be in my brain and I don't know, but I want to be able to go with the flow and not have a full schedule of things I have to do. So, started getting very anxious, thinking, which day am I gonna do? Am I gonna cancel on my friends for the lavender farm adventure, or am I gonna cancel on my friend hiking with just her, having quality time with this good friend, socially distant, on Saturday, and going hiking, and hiking is good for my brain. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I decided that canceling hiking would be the best, because then Sunday I could see the full small group of friends, and cancel hiking with the one friend. Plus, for me, if I get things done on Saturday, it makes me feel better to like do things on Sunday instead of vice versa. Tucker is the opposite. Tucker would love to relax all day Saturday, do stuff on Sunday. I'm the opposite. I'm like, let me be productive Saturday so Sunday I can feel like I can veg out and not feel guilty. So we're all different. Got to figure out what works for your brain. But so then I started getting nervous. I'm like, oh, I have to cancel on my friend. She's gonna hate me because I haven't seen her in months, and now I cancel the first time we have plans together. Oh my gosh. And so I delayed texting her. I delayed texting her. Friday afternoon, she texts me, hey, so what time do you want to meet up for hiking? Oh, we're back! Hi! Is anyone still there? Oh no, guys, tell everyone. Somehow, tell everyone I'm back. I'm so sorry. So, my phone overheated. That's what happens when you live stream outside. I was intentionally keeping myself out of the sun, but I kept my phone in the sun, and therefore it overheated, and it didn't even warn me. It just like shut down YouTube, and then it wouldn't open it back up. And then I'm over here on my laptop trying to figure out, can I live stream on my webcam? But my webcam won't connect to the YouTubes, and I don't know. Thank you guys for being here. You're wonderful. In conclusion, I was stressing out. Remember the story I was telling? I was stressing out about telling my friend that I couldn't go hiking with her anymore. Finally, I responded to her message. I was like, okay, I'm really sorry to have to do this to you, but I'm having one of those weeks where I'm just really stressed out. I've been feeling very anxious and overwhelmed about all the things I need to be doing, and I need one day this weekend to just be by myself, just have a mental health day, and feel better, and get some stuff done and get in a better space. And so I can either do that Saturday. Is it okay if we don't go hiking Saturday and then we can hang out at the lavender farm on Sunday? Or would you rather do the opposite? She said, yep, that's totally fine. We can hang out at the lavender farm on Sunday. And once I said that to her and heard her response, that took the biggest weight off my shoulders. It was a huge relief. It was like I could fully breathe again, which sounds so ridiculous, but I had worked myself up so much over just telling a good friend, someone who understands me and knows a lot about me and my mental health. Like, of course she would understand. If any of my friends said that to me, hey, I just need a day for myself, I actually have to cancel our plans, I would 100% understand. I do not understand when people cancel for dumb reasons, like, oh, I decided to go do this crazy thing, or oh, I got super drunk, sorry, I can't hang out now. Like, those are not great excuses, but if it is for your brain and making yourself feel better, then that's wonderful. You guys have probably heard me talk about the plant doctors, my friends here in Portland, on my channel a few times, or if you've watched Night with Cassidy on KGW, a long time ago now. Their names are Skylar and Chelsea, and they're two Portland ladies who just love plants, and they're really good at knowing what to do with plants. They'll sell you plants. I've become friends with them. And I was talking to one of them, Skylar, the other day, and she told me that she has a really great way to describe this to people. If you're working on making plans, but you also know you need to leave some space to make sure you can be the good person and in the good mental health space that you need to be in that week, you can just say, okay, I'm 80% confirmed. Like, I'm 80% in on that plan. And say, I will be there. I will stick to this plan unless I determine that I will be a better person if I do not stick to this plan. And that is amazing. That is stuck in my brain. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to let you guys use that one. Again, it's Skylar of the Plant Doctors. If you need a plant, go buy a plant from that, because that's a wonderful, not sponsored, but that's a wonderful way to think about it, right? I'm 80% committed. 80%. If I will be a better person because by not sticking to this plan, you can cancel. And who's going to argue with that? Who's going to argue with that? With being a better person by skipping this plan? You can't. I can't. I'm not going to argue. You guys, if I was like, I can't do mental, I have done that, right? I've said I can't do mental Monday this week because I'm just not feeling it. I'm overwhelmed, right? And you guys, I think you've understood. If you don't, you at least don't like come yell at me on Twitter or something. So all to say, just like the title of this video, it is okay to cancel plans. It is okay to say no to things. You got to think, what do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? And that is a very hard thing for me a lot of the time. Going into my brain, what do I actually want? Do I want to be doing this thing with my friends? Do I want to go do this? Do I want to stay home? Do I want to, like, and why do I not want to? Do I want to do that because I actually want to see these people and go do this activity they're doing? Or do I feel like I should? Or do I want to stay home because it's just too much effort to like shower and get ready and get out there? Or do I want to stay home because it will rejuvenate me and let me kind of refresh my brain and relax a little bit? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So, okay, now I'm going to look at your comments. And Glenn says, yes, loves that this is early on the East Coast. I'm glad this timing working for you. Glenn, I was thinking about you earlier. I was like, maybe it's a bad time for the people in Boston. Scott, hello. You're probably gone now because you said you were tuning in on your lunch break, and I had a hiatus of my phone overheating. You're going crazy working on top of parenting. I can't imagine. I want kids. I want kids in my life at some point. But oh man, I have said to Tucker so many times throughout this pandemic that I am so glad that we do not have kids right now. Shout out to all of the parents out there, whether you are a single parent, whether you are co-parents, like, whatever you're doing right now, at whatever level, however you are functioning, you are amazing. You're doing a good job, okay? I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions, but I cannot imagine having to homeschool your kids this whole time. Now you're working from home and it's summer vacation time. That's crazy. And now you have to decide, am I going to send my kids back to school? Depending where you live, you either have that choice or you don't. Am I going to send my kids to school? Or am I, I don't know. I don't need to talk about it here because I don't know anything about it. But I'm very good friends with my cousins and a few of my cousins, and we talk all the time. And that's what they're going through right now, is trying to figure out what to do with their kids this year. Oh, gosh. I don't know. I do not envy them at all. Just like I don't envy bosses right now, like having to decide, like, who to, pay cuts and furloughs and anyway, this was supposed to be a positive mental Monday about how to do things for yourself, how to take time for yourself, and how to actually say no when you don't want to do something. Who else has said hi? Nick says, love your vids, keep up the great work. Thank you, Nick, you're wonderful. Oh my gosh, I very much appreciate that. If you guys ever have ideas of what videos you would like to see in the future, please let me know. Always trying to come up with ideas. I was thinking, and I don't know whether or not this is a good idea, but some of you might be in Portland, some of you are not in the Portland area. Wherever in the world you live, you have probably seen video of Portland lately, maybe seen some clips on the news, and they may or may not have shown all of Portland. I posted something on my Instagram story the other day, walking through downtown, on my way to the radio station, 98.7 The Bull, country station in Portland, if you want to listen to me. And I was like, hey, just FYI, in the middle of the morning, it's a sunny day, beautiful downtown Portland, looks like a normal time. We are not in a war zone. But you might not have seen that part on the news, right? And someone responded, well, most people responded to my story and were like, thank you for sharing this, I appreciate that. And then somebody responded and said, you are not allowed to say that since you work in news. First of all, I'm allowed to say whatever I feel like. Second of all, I wasn't talking poorly about the news or the media. That bugs me a lot when people lump all the media together, because they're not. There's no such thing as the media. Like, everyone is, everything on social media is also media. Anyway, my point, I mean, I work for KGW. We're a local station. So therefore, if you're watching KGW on TV in Portland, you live somewhere in the area, right? For the most part. And so we don't need to show you watching from Portland video of the rest of Portland, like, hey guys, the rest of Portland isn't crazy. Just these couple blocks is where things get very tense and definitely looks a little unrecognizable from a few months ago. But we don't need to do that because we're a local station. At least that's what I'm guessing. I have not talked to my bosses about this, so I'm not speaking for the company as a whole. But I'm guessing because, like, you're in Portland. But when it comes to national news media, they're coming to Portland specifically just to cover the protests. Of course, they're only going to show that small area because that is where stuff is happening. They're not going to go 5 blocks away and go, and look at this part of downtown where nothing is happening and people are out for a lovely Sunday stroll, right? Like, because that's not news. And if you're a national news station, you don't have time to cover everything everywhere, and that's not the point of what you're doing. You're there to cover that, so you cover that. So I'm not even talking poorly about any media in any way, but I have been thinking, should I just go walk around downtown Portland one morning this week and make that my video for the week and just kind of vlog around and go, oh, does this? Because honestly, I drove down NATO Parkway, which is a street that goes down by the waterfront of Portland, on Saturday afternoon. And because my cousin who lives in the Netherlands was like, is it crazy in Portland? Show me downtown, please. So I was like, I'm just going to hold my phone out the window while I drive and just show you. And honestly, the first thing I showed her was all along NATO Parkway, people painting murals. Like, every 20 feet or so, there was a crew of people painting a beautiful mural, whether it said Black Lives Matter or we're all in this together or some kind of inspirational statement in a beautifully painted mural, okay? This is not the beehive of terrorists. This is not, like, these are people painting things that you should not be able to agree with, like that Black Lives Matter. If you disagree, you just are wrong. If I told you your life doesn't matter, that's wrong, right? If you told me my life doesn't matter, I would definitely tell you that's wrong. And anyone that tries to tell you your life doesn't matter you should tell them they're wrong to their face. Anyway, I was wondering if I should just go walk around downtown and show you, like, the rest of Portland that is not this 2-block radius. So let me know what you guys think of that, and maybe I'll do that later this week. Donnie says, hi Cassidy, happy civic holiday to our Canadian friends living in, and Also, Donnie, great point. With respect, this is Donnie's. With respect to those who were like, all lives matter, I say this: only when Black lives do. Yes, I don't think I need to say this to you guys because you guys are here for Mental Monday, and that, first of all, thank you so much. And second of all, if you're here for this, I don't think you are an all lives matter person. But maybe if you have, sorry, now I'm plugging my phone back in. If you run into people who say that lately or in your life, wherever, tell them that right now the world is focused on finding a vaccine for coronavirus, right? They're working the fastest that these teams have ever worked on any vaccine to try to come out with a vaccine for COVID-19 in a year, okay? Yes, breast cancer is still important. HIV, AIDS, still very important. I could name a bajillion things that are also very important, and it would be amazing if we could find a vaccine for them, and I know there are still people working very hard to find those. But right now, the thing affecting everyone is COVID-19. So we're focusing on finding a vaccine for that. Yes, my life as a white woman matters. Yes, your life as whatever race you are matters. But right now we're talking about Black lives mattering because those are the people who have not felt like their lives matter, and that we have to prove that we all believe that their lives matter too. Because we haven't done a great job as a society. Clearly, okay? When there are still Black men and women dying at the hands of police officers and other people for no reason. That matters, and we have to fix it. Like, I don't know what to tell those people. But again, I don't need to lecture you guys because you know this, okay? But I'm just giving you like things you can tell people if you run into people that say that, you know. Peter says yes, walk around Portland, and yes, hi Peter, wonderful to see you. Nick says, have you done a video on how you grow such awesome plants? You would watch that? Thank you. I would love to make another plant video. I was just thinking, because sometimes, you know, you go through, it's been how many months of quarantine or whatever we're in now, like partial quarantine. We've been in this pandemic for a long time now, and it kind of seems like no time has passed because we've all just been like at home this whole time. But then the other day I was taking finding old Instagram stories for the video that I posted yesterday about creating your own joy for yourself. And I went to find old like plant pictures from a few months ago. And guys, in quarantine, these plants have gotten so much bigger. There has been so much growth. And that reminded me that there's also been growth for me, even if I can't immediately tell. Like, I look in the mirror, I look like the same person, maybe with less makeup on than before quarantine. But these plants, to me, because I've been looking at them every single day very closely, they don't look a lot different. But when I compare them to 6 months ago, they look so different. So I was thinking about just doing like an updated plant tour. But then I've also been working on a few other plant-related videos, but kind of like long-term things, because I've thought was going to be like how I saved my monstera from root rot is probably going to end up being how I killed my monstera after it had root rot. So we're just waiting to see if more plant videos coming soon, but I very, very much appreciate that you want more plant videos. Thank you. Donnie says, I do support law enforcers who do not abuse power, those who do not cross the line. Yes. And I believe that those same people in law enforcement would agree that we have to fix the times when it doesn't work. I think if they think in a reasonable way, they got to go, these are my coworkers, these are things that are happening, and these are, even if, I mean, there's so many things on a small scale that we all have unconscious biases, and you might not think, whether you're in law enforcement or just a regular person working in any kind of job, that you have these unconscious biases against people of color, that they're unconscious because you don't think about them. You don't realize they're in your brain. And so in law enforcement, that might be pulling people over. It might be as a regular, I want to start listing things and giving you ideas, but you can start observing yourself and go, oh, when I saw this person on the street, did I think about Did I make an assumption about them? Did I cross the street? Did I get nervous about, like, and why? And why is that a thing? You know, you just gotta get in your own brain and think, why am I thinking this way? And so, um, even if you have not done something super horrible. Does that make sense? I'm rambling. I think I'm gonna let you guys go because I gotta get back to work after my random, unplanned 2-hour break in the middle of the day. Oh, hi, Omar. Showing up from Houston, Texas? Again, if you guys are here till the end, thank you so much. You're amazing. Sorry for the technical difficulties. It's hot outside. Also, my one leg has been in the sun this time. And let me know what times are best for you guys to do Mental Monday, and if there's anything you would love to see on Mental Monday or someone you would love me to interview. I would love to set up some interviews. That would be probably, and then we'd like stream them for Mental Monday. But just with people who are creatives and have something to say, like that care about mental health and care about the mental health of the people that follow them, that use their platforms and think about the space that they're taking up. That's been something I've been thinking a lot about lately. It's like, if I'm going to say something and I'm going to take up people's time to watch something I'm saying, and I'm going to take up space in this world, then I want it to be something that I want to say and that I need to say, and that will hopefully be good for people and not bad, because I keep reading things about, like, we are the content we consume. So drama channels, or like even true crime. I had to stop listening to a lot of true crime things because, like, why do I need that in my brain? Now I'm just scared to go outside when it's dark out, you know? So you got to think about what you're putting into your brain, because it goes into your whole body. I love you guys. Go do something nice for yourself today, and I will see you later this week. Bye!